Hey everybody, this is Johnny Gioeli from Hardline, Axel Rudy Pell, Crush 40, and of course my new solo album, One Voice. Oh, and don't forget Deen Castronovo and Johnny Project. Whew, I'm a busy guy, but you're listening to Sonic Perspectives. Crank it up, baby.
And you're listening to Sonic Perspectives indeed, folks. My name is Rodrigo Altaf, and my guest today is Johnny Gioeli, who's been singing with German guitarist Axel Rudy Pell for a number of years. Johnny also sang in the legendary melodic rock band Hardline, and he's releasing a new album with his former bandmate in the same band, drummer Deen Castronovo. So Johnny, how are you today, man?
Hey, man, I'm great. Thanks for having me. And yeah, I'm a busy guy, bro. And I'm so happy to have this new project with Deen Castronovo. And so I'm happy to be with you and answer any questions you may have.
Well, it's great to have you here with us. And I have some questions lined up for you, of course. So if you don't mind, let's get right to it.
Sure, brother.
Yeah, what was it like to reunite with Deen at this point in time? I mean, it's a partnership that you guys seem to have missed, and you haven't seen each other in 19 years or so, right? Yeah,
exactly. So we didn't really know. We didn't plan this. This just kind of happened. And I'll give you a little bit of a backstory. You know, I was doing an interview like I am now, and but the journalist said a few things that were off color about Deen, and I didn't take well to it because I love Deen like a brother, and you know they're just trying to pull some dirt out of the conversation. I said, okay, interview's over. You know, I said, we all have our problems in our lives, and I'm not going to sit here and point fingers at Deen's problems. I said, Deen, I know Deen. I love him. He's like my brother. I know everything he's been through. He's corrected himself. He's come out clean on the other side. He's kicking ass. He's an awesome human. So this interview's over. And the guy's like, no. So Deen heard this interview and he called me, goes, bro, thank you for having my back. And he says, I'm doing great. I'm back on track. Everything's cool. I said, hey, Deen, I never stop supporting you and I never believe what I read. I know your heart and I know who you are on the inside. And so that was sort of the first of our sort of reuniting. And then like a week later, Deen calls me because people think that, oh my God, it was a big strategy behind building this Gionovo, we call it, this Gionovo record. No, man, Deen called me and said, hey, dude, you want to do a record together? And I was like, yeah, let's go. It was like that. And then back to the record company, to Frontiers Records, who they were planning on doing something with Deen. And Deen said, hey, I want to sing with Johnny. I want to do like this duet, you know, rock record with Johnny. And they said, Johnny, you want to do this? I said, are you kidding? I already said yes, let's go. So that's how it happened. Not a lot of thought, not a lot of strategy, just two guys who haven't really spent a lot of time together in the past 19 years coming together because of that interview and just supporting each other. And here we are. Yeah. We've got Set the World on Fire.
Cool. And I saw the video for the song Through where Deen is seen getting a call from you, and that must have been fun to record, right? There's a bunch of pictures also in the video of the Hardline days too, so that's a cool video.
Yeah, it's cool, you know, and one of the most special pictures I see on there is his son Kyle, who Kyle was like 2 years old when we were doing Double Eclipse, and even Kyle, who's now in his 20s, upper 20s, called me and said thank you so much for supporting my dad. And I'm like, Kyle, of course, man. I mean, we were kids when we were together. You were a baby, and he's still a damn baby. But anyway, he's a big baby now. But yeah, man, that video was cool, and the song Through just sort of reinforced everything that we've been through, and it's about coming out, you know, clean and great on the other side, because life's tough, man. We all know it. Life is, you wake up, man, it's like game on. Here we go. What are we going to encounter today? What are we going to deal with? How are we going to get through this day in a good way, in a peaceful way, in a loving way, you know? And so that song is really special. I'm glad that we put that one out first.
Yeah, and one thing I noticed is that the lyrics are kind of personal this time. Was that you that wrote most of the lyrics, or Deen? How do you guys split that work?
Yeah, you know, so what we did on this record, oddly, is we used outside writers, and their perspective of the situation. So we just said, okay, here's where we're at in our lives. This is what we care about. This is what we think about. This is how we live our lives. And then we let talented people use their vision to create these songs. So we actually used outside songwriters, which I love to do because I think it's the coolest freaking thing to have someone envision what your voice sounds like and what they envision lyrically for you based on your life, and have that translate onto a song. I think it's freaking cool. I love it. People go, oh my God, you didn't write your song. No, who cares? I don't care if my grandmother writes it. If it's a great song, if it has meaning, if it's me, it's got to be me. Can't be outside. It's got to be me. Then it's great. And so then, of course, bro, we got involved with the melody and, structure and stuff like that, because it had to be true to who we are first before it can, go out to the public. So, and that's the way we handled it. It was a fast, simple, incredibly fun and easy process.
Yeah, funny you say that, because I've seen a lot of very good singers who have such an amazing voice, but they have issues singing material from other guys or from other composers and so on. But you don't seem to have a problem with that, right?
No, man. It's oddly enough, and I've heard that also. Yeah. No, I actually enjoy it. I guess it's because, again, like I said before, there's something really cool about fulfilling another person's vision of what a song could sound like with my voice on it. So I just give the song and the lyrics what it needs to be complete, just what it needs to be complete. So that's the way I handle it. I don't think much about, like, I got to tell you honestly, I couldn't name, other than Alessandro, I couldn't name who the other writers are, because I don't care. I mean, I care about them. I care about the song and the lyrical content and delivering on that and getting inside that music. Like a painter, you start with a canvas and you start painting stuff, right? Yeah. The painter's not thinking about, I have to draw a scene of a castle so that I can sell this painting. I don't think about selling the song, selling the album, the charts, the publicity. I think about how my voice will affect this song, and will it translate to the people, and will they love it? That's it. That's what I think about. So it's just a cool thing, man. So again, I love music. I love songs. I don't care where they come from.
Yeah, cool. And how was the composition process for the album? Were you guys together at some point in time in the studio, or was it just sending files back and forth? And how was Alessandro's involvement in it?
Yes, so to answer some of those, it was a combination of all those things. So I have a beautiful studio in my home, and of course I'm very comfortable singing in my studio, but we also worked in Italy. So it was a combination of all those things. And Alessandro was producer, and he also wrote a bunch of songs on it as well. So we used him and his guidance for helping us pick and choose who should sing what, and again, that process was probably 8 minutes long. Like, hey Dean, do you want to take that song? Okay, bro. Hey man, would you mind if I sang Mother? I really I feel like a connection to that song. Yeah, sure, bro. Go ahead. Okay, what about that line? You want to do that? Sure, man. I'll take that. You want to take that one too? No, how about you take that? Okay, I'll take that. And literally 8 minutes in a conversation, we're recording. And old school, bro, old school. We don't use the plug-ins and the plug-outs and the plug up your this and you plug up that. We sing. And if we don't like what we sing or just sang, we sing it again. Just like, bro, hit that again. Hit that one more time. So, for us, it was an old school, great process of recording and being together, the whole reunion. It was like the day after we saw each other back in the Hardline days. It was like picking up the next day. It's like, Dino, hug, kiss, grab, let's go eat something, bro. And I mean, that's a true brotherhood right there.
Yeah, you just touched on one of my questions, actually. How would you guys choose who was going to sing what? But it seems to have been a very organic process, right? No frills, no thought out.
No, easy. Nope. no sitting in a boardroom discussing the best strategy vocally. No, it was like, bro, I love that song. Can I sing it? Yeah, okay. Literally, I mean, it was so easy, so fast. And then what's interesting about it, though, I got to tell you, back in the Hardline days, a lot of people didn't know that Deen had such a tremendous voice. It wasn't until the Journey days where people said, holy shit, this guy can sing his ass off. But I knew he could back then. But back in the, in the early 90s, he was the drummer, I was the singer, Neal was the guitar player, my brother was the other guitar player, Todd was the bass player. That was it. You know what I mean? Those were our roles, right? Yeah. But now that people know how incredible Deen is as a singer, when I'm recording my vocals, I'm literally saying, holy shit, I hope I'm kicking ass because this guy can sing great. And Deen is doing the same thing. He's like, shit, I just heard Johnny's other track. I better kick ass on this next song. So we're just both like wondering, God, I hope we're good enough for each other. And that is really, the signs of real art, bro. Because you got to be humble and you've got to always think that you're not good enough. And I do. I always, every show, I'm nervous with anxiety to be great for the people. I want to be great. I want to be better the next show. You know what I mean? So I want to be better on the next recording. And Deen's the same way. So we're of the same, we'd say we're of the same ilk. We're of the same work ethic. So this process was easy, bro.
Very cool. One of the songs I like about this album is Ride of Your Life, where Deen's voice, it goes into the stratosphere pretty much. Now, I can't ask him, but I'll ask you, how does one prepare to sing like that? Did he always sing that well, from the Hardline days, or did he evolve somehow, or did he have singing lessons, or...
Well, I don't want to speak for Deen. I will tell you, though, that he's always had a great voice, like I said. But it's kind of strange. Deen had and I tease him about this, too. Deen had a nose job. Deen had his nose fixed because he had a big Italian schnozzola like I have, right? Yeah. But I never wanted to fix mine because that's my voice. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But Deen fixed his voice, his nose, but his voice got even better. Usually it works the other way. If you touch your nose, you break your nose, your voice changes because, we sing with the cavity of our faces, and that's why we all sound different. Our faces are different sizes, our tongues, our mouths, our teeth, everything's different, right? Yeah. But when Deen fixed his nose, he sounded even freaking better. So
that's his secret.
That's his secret. I don't know. I'm not advocating that everyone goes and breaks their nose and goes and gets a nose job to sing better. But for Deen, it just was kind of like this freak of nature thing that happened. His range even increased. This guy sings like freaking like a bird.
Yeah, so for sure.
Yeah, it's funnier than hell. And I think that's one of the songs he actually doesn't like. I don't know why. I think he sounds freaking awesome on it.
It's amazing. I first heard of his singing abilities in a band called Revolution Saints, which is just as awesome.
Yeah.
He's perfect.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. He's a tremendous talent, and he would call me. He goes, dude, I just heard your vocal. I just heard the vocal on that track. He goes, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to live up to that. I said, Deen, just sing, bro. You don't need to live up to anything. Just sing, and you don't understand what you have. Just sing. So what a great experience, bro, for both of us to be together, making this record.
For sure. And speaking of you, all those years you don't seem to have lost an inch of your vocal abilities. How did you manage that? And have you done any proper singing training, or what's your routine to take care of your voice?
Oh, bro, I wake up, I hit the gym. I still love to be active in the gym and run and stuff. I try to stay in shape, but man, the older we get, God, it's hard. And I love Italian cookies, bro. It's just, but anyway, no. So do I have a routine? I'm going to tell you honestly, absolutely not. What do? I sing a lot. I sing so much during the day, walking around my house, doing whatever I'm doing, working, on my music. I make my family insane. They're like, Dad, please stop singing. So I'm always singing. And then after, 39 years in this business, since I'm 11 years old, I'm now 50, but, you learn what you can do and what you can't do as far as capability. So I know where my limits are, and I know where my range is, where it starts, where it stops, and I just try to, stay within the boundaries and not get crazy. You know what I mean? I think that's how I've sustained. I don't know. Let's talk next year and see what happens. But thank you for saying that. I just I don't think about it, bro. I just sing. You know what I mean? I just sing.
I guess keeping busy is part of your secret as well, right? You're with Axel Rudy Pell, your solo stuff. Hardline is still active, right? As well.
Yes, sir. We got another album that will be coming out April of 2019. I've got my solo album called One Voice that hits the streets December of 2018. Of course, Axel Rudy Pell just released Night's Call. That was recently released. And of course the Gionovo, I call it Gionovo, the Gionovo project, which comes out July 13th. I mean, I'm a happy guy, bro. I am so grateful that I can make music. That's it. It's all about just making music and enjoying.
Yeah, you've certainly been quite productive through all those years. But I remember when the Hardline debut came out in the mid-90s, to be honest, it still holds a special place in my CD collection, and not just for nostalgia reasons, because the songs are still tremendously strong. And at that point, where you were like an unknown singer, now looking back, how much would you say that album paved the road for what came next in your musical career? How important was that?
My nose would be growing like Pinocchio if I said that it didn't catapult my career, but it really did. Working with Neal and Deen, it put me at a, honestly, I mean, I say it with the utmost honesty, it put me at a different level than a lot of guys. And but I had to also prove myself, and that album was my baby, man. It was my newborn. Of course, I love my own children more than that record, but that was my firstborn, man. I mean, that was a baby, and I worked all my life to create those songs for that album. That album wasn't supposed to happen with Neal. That was to be my brother and I. That was going to be a solo hard rock version of like Nelson's, what they did. Yeah, bro, and it morphed into a band. So I worked endlessly. My job was wake up, stay healthy, get to the gym, and then sit in that studio and work and write and enjoy. And so thank you, bro. I mean, that record, I still listen to it and go, wow, what a great freaking rock record. It's just great. It's just we did our jobs. We did, not tooting my own horn, but we made a great record there.
No,
really did.
It is still amazing. Even to this day, it holds up. But what would you say? What do you think was missed for Hardline to have been more successful? I mean, it's such a great album. It still holds up until this day. But it certainly left a mark on people that know deeply AOR and hard rock, melodic rock. But it's not a mainstream album by any means.
Yeah, bro, what was missed there was just timing. Life is about timing. Some people are very lucky with it. Some are a little unlucky with timing. Yeah. And we were unlucky. The industry was changing. Grunge was coming in. I remember a very, very big, business guy in music named John Kolodner. Some of the listeners may know who this guy is. Very, very famous guy. And he told me that it's over. He goes, bro, beautiful record you made, but you're not going to be seen on MTV. No one's going to really, play this record. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he said, here, play this record. It was Pearl Jam, and I played it, and I laughed. I was like, what is this? What the hell is that? That's not freaking singing. Of course, now I understand the art within that music. I get it, and it's commendable, it's cool, it's different. But back then, I thought it was pure shit, and it altered my life. It really did. But Double Eclipse album did very, very, very well. It catapulted my career. It's kept me. I mean, I'm 39 years. I'm busier than I've ever been, bro. And that record was certainly responsible for sort of, setting off the fireworks. And yeah, I'm proud of it still today.
Yeah, for sure. Funny you mentioned that, because I spoke a few months ago with another casualty of the grunge era, and he's also had, he doesn't hold John Colodor in such a high regard either. His name is Ron Young, and he's the singer of Little Caesar. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, I know the band. Of course, yeah. I don't know personally, but yeah, it was just interesting. It was just an interesting time.
Yeah.
No one knew. Only a few people in the industry really understood what was about to happen. And like even Neal Schon. Neal at that point had sold, over 60 million records, and Neal himself had no idea what was about to happen to music and to radio and to CDs and to vinyl. He had no idea. It hit him. It hit him in the face like Mike Tyson throwing an uppercut. Same thing.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was a crazy time.
But what would you say these days are the main differences in the music scene and the business side of it from when you started with Hardline until now?
Oh, bro, that's an excellent question and one that's really hard to answer. But obviously, the industry has changed where we can now, as artists, get out on this thing called the internet and self-promote and can be heard and can be seen. And so that has given light to so many talented musicians, where before, unless you had an in at a record company or you had a high-powered manager, you just weren't going to get heard. So I think it's so cool that, socially through the internet, that artists can now create music. They don't really need a record company. We don't really need a record company anymore. Let's just call it a spade a spade. We just don't. I love my record company. Don't get me wrong. I love Frontiers because I don't want to do all that back end work. I just want to create. So they handle all that stuff for me, Mm-hmm. But in today's world, it's really not needed. An artist can be an artist, and they can be as big as they want to be, and if they work as hard as they can. So that's the biggest. Obviously, the internet's the biggest change from when we started. I don't even think cell phones just started to come out. When Double Eclipse was happening. Yeah. Otherwise, it was like when we were on the road. It was like I'd call my now wife, back then my girlfriend. I'd say, okay, when I get to the hotel, I'll call you. From one pay phone to another pay phone, or from a hotel room phone. So, man, it's just bizarre, the technology and what's happened in 25 plus years. It's cool.
Yeah, for sure. And one of the side effects that I see is that many musicians now, they have so many side projects and so many things going on. I don't think that was a possibility back then, right? Because you had to have just the one band. I think it was an image kind of thing, But nowadays, you can just do whatever you like.
Yeah, and I always thought that was so stupid, and they'd say, "Oh, he's a project hopper. He plays in 9 different bands." Let me just tell you something. When you're a songwriter, when you're an artist, when you're a creator, I mean, if you're a painter, for example, you're going to tell a guy, "Hey, you can't paint that scene. That's already you already painted a castle. Why don't you paint a flower now?" You want to make music, man. And if you came to me, bro, and you said, "Hey, my grandmother, she really wants to write a song with you. If I've got the time, I'm going to write with your grandmother," because it's about being creative. It's about taking life experiences. For me now, since I'm an old guy now, I love taking what I've learned in life, or what I didn't learn, or what I've yet to learn, and translate it to music. So whether it's with Deen, or with Hardline, or with Axel, or with Crush 40, or with any other project or any other musician that I work with, I just want to make music, man, and be grateful that I can. And I am, man. I'm grateful. Trust me, I am grateful.
Very cool. And you touched on Crush 40 just now. That's a completely different style than what you used to writing, right? It's working and writing for video games, right?
Yeah. So this actually is over 20 years in the making. I can't believe it. So I developed with my Japanese music partner Jun Sonoi, who works for Sega. We created this similarity to making an album for a movie, like a movie soundtrack. We create music soundtracks for games, and I got to tell you something, man. I never really understood how massive it is, but now that my son, I can't get him off of Xbox for 20 hours a day, I really, really understand it. But it became epic, monumental music for the gaming industry. Songs like "Live and Learn," "What I'm Made Of," "I Am." I wrote all these songs with my music partner June, and it's been an unbelievable side project, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's been amazing. I just did another event last week in Philadelphia. These places are packed. They love the music because music affects people. It brings you up. It can slow you down. It can make you feel a different way. It alters your emotion. So to have the ability to do that, whether it's a music for a game or music for a CD, it's a really cool freaking thing, man, to be an artist. It really is.
Yeah, that's certainly a market I never thought existed, the music for video games. It's something new. I think it's a reflection of how the industry is shaped these days, right? I guess
so. It's true. Yeah. No, you're right. It's true. I never realized how big it was until I started doing, people asked me to do these events to perform as Crush 40 or come out and speak. And I'm like, whoa, I can't believe how this music has affected, in a positive way and altered, the lives of young kids who are playing these games. And it's a lot of it, this music has shaped them, which is mind-blowing to me, how you can shape someone with music, and I'm like, yeah, I grew up with your music. When I was down, you brought me up, and that's just, man, that blows me away. Still blows me away after all these years.
For sure. And will Gioeli-Castronovo or Gionovo tour at some point?
You were planning it. Yeah, as a matter of fact, we didn't really know what the outcome was going to be. Again, I go back to the artistry of this whole thing. We made this album for ourselves. We said, let's do an album together. That's all we thought of. We didn't think about the Billboard charts, the number of sales, the this, that, and that. We thought, let's do a record together, brother. I love you, man. Let's do some music together. And that's as far as it went. But now what's happening online is telling us that people love it, people want it, and so we scratched our head and said, okay, we have to play live. So we are planning some 2019 dates. Are we going to do a massive tour? Probably not. Are we going to do 10 to 20 shows, 30 shows? Yeah, probably so. So we are putting that together for sure, man. And it's only because of the result of what the people want. It's not necessarily what we're us saying, oh, okay, we're not going to tour. No, we have to tour because people have accepted this record and they love it and they want to see it live. So we're open to doing it. So that is a 2019 plan.
Oh, very cool. I'm keeping my fingers crossed so that you guys cross the border and come to Canada at some point in time.
Oh, man, I would love to. It's one country I've never been to. Is Canada? That crazy?
Really?
I've never been to Canada.
Oh my God.
No. And with what's going on with the United States, I'm ready to move to Canada. I'm ready to pack my bags.
There's a place for you here, guys.
Thank you, man. Yeah. Thank you so much. Hopefully we will get there. Hopefully we will.
Yeah. Before we go, at the end of every interview we do, we play a song of the artist we just spoke with. In your case, which song of the new album would you like to be played?
Oh, bro, if you could play Through. That would be awesome because it was the first one that we put out there onto the internet, and it has a lot of meaning for us, for sure.
Yeah.
It's it talks about everything that we have literally been through, and it's about coming out great and clean on the other side, man. Sometimes we say there's light at the end of the tunnel. Well, we want to make sure that light isn't a train coming at us, right?
Yeah.
So we're lucky to walk through that tunnel and be where we are. So if you could play through, man, I'd be appreciative.
Sure, that's one of the highlights of the album for sure. All right,
Thanks.
So thank you so much, man. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Likewise, man. Be well and good luck over there. I'm glad you're in Canada. I hope everyone's well.
Thanks, man. Take care.
Thanks, brother. Take care, man.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, everyone. That was our interview with Johnny Gioeli. I hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to subscribe to our podcast in order to get notified instantly of all our interviews, as well as our Talking Perspectives weekly discussions. And of course, make sure you like us on Facebook, Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and visit us at www.sonicperspectives.com. Once again, I'm Rodrigo Altaf, and I'll leave you with one of the best songs of Set the World on Fire, Gioeli-Castronovo's new album. The song is called Through. Take care and rock on.